Danny Lighting here. Today we're going to be reviewing the OBSBOT Tiny SE and comparing it to a bunch of different cameras and webcams. So right now you're seeing my full-blown mirrorless Sony ZV-E10 Mark II with a really nice Sigma lens on it. Now I did receive this camera for free in exchange for an honest review, but I get to say anything I want. They're not paying me. These are my own words, and this is the way I feel about the camera. But we're going to show it to you and let the video quality or the image quality or whatever you want to say speak for itself. So yeah, let's get back to the review. And this right here is the OBSBOT Tiny SE. This is the way the little camera looks, and this thing looks almost as good as my Sony camera, which is crazy. I mean, this is the best $99 webcam I have ever seen. It's packed full of features. The image quality is great. I am actually in an extremely dimly lit room right now, and this thing is killing it. So if I turn on some additional lighting and I brighten up the room, this is the way the camera looks. But yeah, this looks good in a dimly lit and a bright room as well. But I will tell you one thing that is super cool about this camera, and I mean super cool. So this thing will actually follow you around the room. There's all kinds of different tracking options depending on what you want this to do, but this is a really amazing feature. Now if I go into my video editing software and I do a quick color grade, but bam, I have it now looking like this. And guess what? After a quick color grade, this thing looks almost identical. This thing looks almost identical to my Sony camera. I mean, you can probably barely tell the difference. Look at that. They look almost the same after a quick color grade. I mean, it's so close, it's not even funny. And then that's the way it looks without the color grade, which is still pretty awesome. But I tried to make the cameras match colors so they looked almost exactly the same. That way when I switch back and forth, you know, right now you can see a difference because I don't have the color grade applied. But once I do apply the color grade, let's do that again. These two cameras look almost identical. Let's go ahead and compare this to some other webcams. Okay, so this is the Anker C310 webcam. It's in 4K right now. This cam is a little bit grainy. When you see me moving my hand around, that's a motion blur test, so you can see if there's any motion blur. I'm just going to move back and forth so you can see how this reacts to the lighting and stuff like that. This definitely does not look as good, but this one is a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit grainy. Overall, a nice webcam, but let's switch to the next one. Now we are on the Elgato Facecam Mark II. This one also has a little bit of grain in it, but I think the overall colors and stuff is pretty good. There's our motion blur test. This is a nice looking webcam. I think this one runs around 150 bucks, so this one is more expensive than the little Tiny SE, but the truth is the Tiny SE still looks better in my opinion. I do like the Tiny SE. And now we are on one of the worst 4K webcams I've ever seen, which is the Logitech Brio 4K. I think this was the original Brio. Now this is a webcam that I've hated since the day I got it, but when I picked it up, it was right around COVID. I needed the webcam ASAP, and this was the only decent one available, and it kind of sucks, so yeah. And I'm not a big fan of it whatsoever. I think it's probably the worst webcam I've ever owned, to tell you the truth. Alright, so there was a quick look at some of these other webcams. The OBSBOT Tiny SE kills the other webcams in my opinion by a long shot. This is just so much better. Alright, so this is what the little control panel looks like. So if you download OBSBOT Center, you can get this right here to control the camera. You've got your different tracking settings, so you can have motion, it can zoom in and out and all kinds of stuff if you're moving around the room, or you can turn all of that off and have it just set up like a static camera. It's got AI mode. You can do a hand tracking or group. I think group's probably for if there's a group of people. Hand tracking, if you move your hand around, the camera will follow your hand. You can have 3 different presets for different things. So if you want the camera to do different things, you can have 3 different presets, which is really cool. And then let's just say you want to move the camera around manually. You have this little control button here, which will rotate this thing up, down, 360 degrees. It's a really cool deal. You got a wide view, a medium view, a narrow view, or you can pretty much zoom this in as much as you want. And yeah, it's a pretty cool deal. So if we come over to image, we're going to see the different things. You got HDR. Now, personally, I don't like the way the HDR looks, but you can turn that on if you want. We got focus mode, so you can either focus on just the general background or have it focus on your face. I think you're going to be best off focusing on your face, to tell you the truth. You've got your auto exposure. I've actually got mine set to a shutter speed of 100 and the ISO's on 400, and that gives me a nice exposure in a very dimly lit room. For some reason, in whatever mode I'm currently using, the anti-flicker is turned off. Not really sure why. But next we have the white balance. I mean, you can either have the auto white balance where it tries to decide the proper white balance, but I like to set it up for my lighting. My lighting is actually 5600, but on 5200 in my room, it seems to give me a really good temperature. Now you got your contrast, saturation, sharpness, and hue over here. So let's just say you want your camera to be really saturated. I mean, I don't know about that. Or you don't want any saturation, you can just kind of adjust these where you want them. So these are some really nice controls. And then if you click over here on the thing that says more, you're going to get a few more different things. Like you can turn on these different hand gestures to zoom in and out and stuff like that. Now, personally, I don't want it to respond to my hands because I'm a person that talks with my hands. So I don't want it going crazy and zooming in and out just because I'm moving my hands around. So personally, I'm going to turn off all the hand gestures and stuff like that. But if you want to use them, you can. Now this does have a built-in microphone. I haven't tested it out yet. In just a second, we will switch to that microphone and let you hear it. I'm not sure how it sounds, but let me go and try and set that up right now. Okay, so right now we have enabled the microphone. So this is the microphone that's built into the Tiny SE. So if you're interested to know what that sounds like, this is what it sounds like right here. So hello, hello, hello. This is the built-in Tiny SE microphone. There is a heater running. My heater's running right behind it. So I'm not sure if that's being picked up or how much room noise or reverb or anything is being picked up. But this is the way the microphone sounds on the OBSBOT Tiny SE. Now this is how the little microphone sounds if you put the noise reduction on the weak setting. This is how it sounds with the noise reduction on weak. This is how it sounds when you put the noise reduction on medium. And then we have a strong noise reduction as well. So this gives you a really good idea of what the microphone sounds like with the different noise reduction modes. So there we go. Bam! Tiny SE microphone in your face right there. Maybe in your ear. I don't know. Not in your face, in your ear, because you can hear it. So what it really boils down to is that this is a really amazing looking camera. I am surprised that this is only 99 bucks. With a couple of quick tweaks, it seriously looks almost as good as a really expensive camera with a nice lens on it, which kind of blows my mind. I mean, webcams for 99 bucks normally do not look this good. The majority of webcams look like webcams. This almost gives you that DSLR look. Now, I've seen a lot of videos on some of these other web cameras where people are saying, hey man, this thing looks just like a DSLR. And then you get one and it doesn't. I'm pretty sure those people doctored up the footage big time, but you're getting to see the footage doctored and the way it came out of the camera. So I showed you both, right? A couple of quick tweaks. It almost matched the quality of my real camera, and without the tweaks, it still looks really freaking good for a $99 webcam. This thing is crazy. So if you don't have a lot of money and you're looking for a webcam, this is amazing. It follows you around the room. It's got a built-in microphone. But bottom line is, this little camera is freaking amazing. It really is. I am blown away at how good this $99 webcam is. Every other webcam I've ever got that's between the $99 and $200 price range, I haven't really been 100% happy with any of them, but I could almost switch over and just use this camera if I had to. This thing makes me wonder what their nicer cameras look like. They got a couple of other ones that are around 300 bucks, 400 bucks. I bet those things look crazy good. The only thing some of you guys may not like is this is not a 4K camera, right? It's only a 1080 camera, but who cares? It looks great and it's 99 bucks. I should probably add this in, but I really do wish there was a slider in the setting to control the highlights and the blacks. That way, if the highlights seem a little too bright or the blacks are a little bit too dark. But besides that, you know, there's not a lot of things to complain about for a $99 webcam. I mean, this is really good for the price. At this point, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate each and every one of you a lot, and huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you for the extra support. It really does help keep this channel running and bring you videos just like this. If you drop down the video's description or the pinned comment, you'll see my affiliate links where you can get some really amazing stuff from cameras, lighting, microphones, stuff to make your room look cool. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out one of these other videos that are just about to pop up on the screen, and hey, maybe hit that like button and subscribe. And if you hit the little bell and set the notifications to all, YouTube will notify you when I make brand new videos. So thank you so much for watching. You guys and gals are amazing. Like me out, have a great day, and remember, you are awesome.